Welcome. I'm the Deadwood Jedi, and we're doing another Raid Shadow Legends video. It is Monday morning for me, and I woke up and the Doom Tower was here, guys. So I figured we could do a quick little look and see what's in there and some of the stuff that we're going to be checking out. Obviously, there are a whole bunch of new champions, so you can see the fragment summons here. A bunch of these are champions that we're going to be able to get through the Doom Tower itself, which is very cool. It's going to take a couple months to get any one of those champions, though, so don't feel like you're rushed into it. It's not going to come super fast for anybody. And they are exclusive to the Doom Tower, so that's just kind of the way it's going to go. As far as the Doom Tower, obviously you just come over here to the right and look what we got, the Doom Tower. So I did do a little bit just to check it out because, well, you know, it was kind of exciting. But you can see all the floors here, how everything works. Gold keys are going to be used for the pretty traditional floors, and then silver keys are going to be used for these secret rooms over here on the side. Well, that's a pretty big tower. I couldn't even get to the top there just scrolling. So that's kind of cool. But I did the first floor. Now I did it on normal just because I wasn't even. I felt kind of locked in on trying normal first, so just did that, which is fine. It's not going to be a big deal. But you can go down here and switch to hard for a little bit of an extra challenge, which I'll probably end up going to pretty shortly. But if you're starting normal, it doesn't really matter. You get a certain number of gold keys every day. So the key is just to make sure you do it every day, and that way you should be able to get through the whole tower by the end as long as you're winning every time. Now, obviously, if you lose a fight, it's okay. You can back out, so it's not a big thing. So one of the things we can do is we can try one of these dungeons and see how it goes. Now, I did save the boss here. I figured we could kind of check it out all together and take a quick look at it. So for the boss, it's kind of strange. You do have to like re-input all the champions or everything that you want to do. So it doesn't really matter. I went with like one of my better lineups. I think is probably one of my better things. I'll bring in Royal Guard just for the boss nuking kind of aspect of it. But this is just kind of a general build. Now, one thing that we do know about this this boss here, this magma dragon, that provoke does work on it. So you can see this little click here and see the best teams that have worked. So look, these are all my clanmates, and see who's done what. So it holds it by my clans, and then you can see global rankings, where the best times is Stu Gaming being the jerk and working on that best time yet, 5 seconds. So that's pretty impressive. Well, if Stu's gonna do that, I feel like I have those two champions. I could give that a shot, right? Why not? I don't think my two are nearly as good as his two, but you can try it out and see what happens here. That's kind of exciting to be able to see all that. And it looks like he's blue affinity, and my understanding is going to stay blue affinity, which is kind of neat. So yeah, let's see what this does. This is kind of a cool idea. And we'll just kind of go through it. I don't think I'm going to beat 5 seconds. I don't know how he possibly beat 5 seconds, quite frankly. He must have his ethos faster. Nuke, and then Septimus goes. But yeah, you can see here on normal, it is not particularly difficult to get through that. 18 seconds, done and done. So that's very cool. But one of the things you can do with that boss is you can provoke him. That is definitely something that you can do. So that's a good way to keep that hex ability that he brings off of your champions. And it's a pretty solid way to be able to pass that boss without going through too much trouble. Just provoke him, and that's the debuff you want to use there. And then just generally through the waves is kind of the similar stuff as always. You know, think faction wars, think crowd control, and then think trying to get the damage in on top of that. But none of these ways, especially on normal, are particularly difficult. I don't think it really matters where your account level's at. You should be able to get through those first 10 levels pretty simply. And then we have the secret room, and this first secret room is rare champions only, which, I mean, good, bad, or neutral, that is simply what it is. So we're gonna try and bring in a few. I have some leveled up, not everybody of course, but I have a fair amount of champions that I think I can bring to this. So we're gonna do that, and who should be the last one? We'll bring in Painkeeper for a little healing, and hopefully that'll work. This is not a dungeon, so we'll do all battles. We'll just see how this goes. I haven't done this one, haven't even looked at it. So just kind of go through it. Now it is on normal, so the difficulty level isn't super high. This So my guess is this is going to be fairly easy to get through. The champions aren't super high levels either. And you can see they're going really slow. We have lots of time to come through this few. And obviously I have good gear, and the guys are all level 60. So depending on where your count's at, obviously you're going to have your own limitations as to how effective this is going to be for you. But I don't anticipate a lot of issues, especially right off the bat with most of these things. I think once you get into the hard side of the tower, once you get higher up in the tower, that's really where we're going to see some issues. But even coming up onto the wave, there's nothing really special here. So done and done, easy enough. And our reward should be some fragments of somebody. And there you go. We got Archmage Helmet, 3 fragments for Archmage. That's great. And so once we get Archmage, then we have a chance to get Akoth, and then we'll have a chance to get Ryan. But first we have to get all the fragments for Archmage Helmet before we can get any of the other ones. So they're kind of locked behind that, which is great. Archmage is the one we want, so that works out perfect. And cool, we get a few extra keys to farm the dungeon with. So pretty dope. Hey guys, so I know we did some normal runs as I kind of was going through things early this morning. The reset happened the same time with like the daily login stuff, so that's good to know. So we're gonna go ahead and try the hard side of things and see how that goes. Got some little bits of advice I'll give you guys at the end just on how you guys want to go through some of this stuff. But yeah, let's try some of this and see how it progresses. The easy mode was pretty easy, so we're just gonna go with the best champions we got and see where we can go through. I think that's kind of the best plan with all of this in general. So that's kind of what we're gonna do. See how it goes. Don't anticipate a whole lot of challenge with it, but we'll see. It is only the beginning, but you can see already we're gonna have to go through a couple times. Definitely can do some damage, do some work, but yeah. So the hard mode might be a bit challenging for a lot of you guys depending on where you are in your accounts. That's not a surprising thing. It's supposed to be hard, right? But at least there's a bit of a challenge there. But I'll go ahead and just run some of this stuff, and you guys can see it. And if anything comes up, we'll talk about it. Okay, guys, so we're back. We're trying to figure out the best way to go take out this boss. Again, it's that magma dude. Hard's been way harder than the normal. The hard version is way tougher than the normal version of this. So definitely the waves I don't concern myself too much with, but we're gonna need some provoke for this champion. That seems the best way to combat the hex ability that he likes to put on people. So we're gonna go with that. Outside of that, it's gonna be about sustain, damage, that kind of the typical stuff that we're going at. So we're gonna try this for now. Ethos obviously gives me more AoE damage, which is good, but you can see the waves are not nearly as tough as the rest of hard. I don't know if that's a bug or if that's intentional. My guess is it's probably intentional, mostly just to get you off your cooldown so you can't plan perfectly for the boss. But the boss itself is going to be hard just like before. Getting to him it doesn't look like it's going to be nearly as big of a deal. But it does get us going through some of the skills ahead of time. So we'll see how we go here. As I said, getting provoke out there is probably going to be the most important part of this. Although it doesn't seem like it landed. So him being able to resist is definitely a thing. Yeah. But you can see the hex is on Bad Alcazar. So bringing a reviver, in this case Siphi, is definitely a good thing. He did opt for Septimus there. It's probably the weakest of my champions. There's a provoke lands. That's going to keep the boss from not killing my other guys, which is important. So there you go. You can see that single hit. I think as long as you can provoke this guy and keep him focused on you, you're going to be in pretty good shape here. And that's kind of what we're aiming for. Otherwise, it's pretty simple, just taking them down. So that's the first stage. Obviously, you know, it's one of those things where it's going to be easier for some and then others. It's all very dependent on your account. But for the first 10 levels, that's it. That's the boss. Definitely a challenge to go through. The key thing is controlling him, is getting provoke on him. It seems like the best way to control that boss and make it easy for you to take them down. Other than that, it's just about doing the most damage as quickly as you can on your boss there. You also need, whoever your provoke champion is, you need a way to keep them alive. So whether that's bringing another ally protection champion in, bring in a cleanser, bring in some healing, whatever it is, you're going to want to do that. So Let's go ahead and check out this. This is going to be epics only on the hard version. On the normal version, it's rare champions only. So great. So it's just epic champions. It shouldn't be... I don't imagine this is going to be too difficult. So let's just pick some guys that I have ready to go. All right. This time we got Suai kitted out so she can actually hit. There you go. You can see some damage going in, and we brought in Cardinal to make sure that we get some healing and some revives if needed. And I think this should do us pretty good here now. Yep, pretty good. The Cardinal's going to be your lifesaver in something like this, being able to keep your guys alive, bring them back up. Other champions that would be really good. Steel Skull obviously brings a lot of healing, a lot of sustain, in addition to adding a couple poisons, nothing major. But he's definitely more in that healer role for something like this. There we go. Got our fragments for Thea, the Tomb Angel. Once we get her, oh good. It looks like the next one after that will be Uras. He's definitely the champion I want to get the most. Thea definitely looks interesting as well. So she brings her own little hex thing. So she looks like a very cool champion. But excellent. That looks great, guys. And you get a couple bonus keys as a result for passing that room, which is cool. So that's that one. Not too shabby. Those are the levels, right? So first 10 levels, first 10 floors of the Doom Tower. We get all the way up here to Magma Boy for our boss, and you can see. Let's see what the best time so far. 24 seconds in my own clan. 7 seconds by some other folks. 7 or 8 seconds. Pretty ridiculous times, if you ask me. The special room here looks like best times globally all the way down to 20 seconds. So again, the big thing with this stuff, guys, is sustain. You don't have to get a great time to be successful at this. You just have to get through it. And the best part is all those silver keys you're going to want to use to farm here. So, okay, guys, so a couple best practice things that we've learned already in less than a day on how to approach the Doom Tower. First thing, you want to use your gold keys as much as possible on the hard level. You want to push the difficulty as far as you can. Now, it doesn't mean you have to put all your keys on that. It just means that that's where you want to try and push as much as possible. There's a reason for this, because the hard is tough, right? You want to go as far as you can, but those keys are daily. You only get so many of them. So every single day, you want to do your best to use each key and advance another floor in the Doom Tower, either on normal or hard. So to use as much as you can on hard until you can't go any further, and then use the leftover keys to advance on normal. And the reason why is those hard levels, some of those bosses, they're going to be tough. Some of the floors could be tough. They might take you a few hours and several retries to actually pass it. Well, if you spend too much time on that, you might end up not even using your keys or advancing for that day. That's why you want to try and push as far as you can. Kind of like Faction Wars. Push as far as you can, and when you can't push any farther, use your keys on normal. The key is the goal, though, is to continue to advance every single day, a little bit, right? So maybe you spend a couple hours on one level, this day, and you get past it, and then you can only do that. Maybe like that, you hit a spot where you just can't advance any farther. That's okay too. But you want to try and advance as far as you can on hard, as quickly as you can, and then go back to normal. The other thing, those silver keys. You can farm on normal, absolutely. You can also farm on hard. The same key is going to work for either floor. So your best bet is to farm on hard. And the only people you're farming are those bosses. So as soon as you can beat a boss, now we want to farm this boss on hard, not on normal, because the rewards are going to be better. So we want to use those silver keys to farm on hard, even if we're still advancing down normal. That's another reason why you want to put your keys on the hard side as quickly as possible and advance down there as far as you can. Once you hit a stopping point, that's okay. Not everybody's expected. I don't think anybody's really expected to beat the Doom Tower. So it's okay that we don't. You just want to advance as far as you can, and then try your best to beat the normal side, and use your silver keys to farm on hard. Another great tip with these farming fragments, these pieces, let's go look at the forge really quick. So Affinity Breaker, this is where we were just farming. This is the boss we were just hit. So it's the same boss. We got the same reward. So yes, notice the fragments that we need, the mixing materials, right? We need the gold stuff here and the purple stuff. These are for the 5 and 6 star pieces. Well, those are the ones we actually want to craft, right? Let's craft end game stuff, not the mid and lower game stuff. If you look here at the mid game, we use those same purple pieces as well as the blue ones. But if you look at here, the low stuff, we only need the blue. You don't need the blue for the 5 and the 6 star, just for the 3 and 4 star. So one of the things you can do is craft this and then sell it and make a tidy little profit off of it. So even when you're farming, if you're not getting the stuff that you want for this, it's not a complete loss, and it's worth farming, because even if it's just this, it's basically free silver. And Lord knows we're always short of silver. So that's definitely something you guys want to keep in mind. It might be a great way to go through the crafting, and that's pretty much going to be the case with all of these guys. Even these fatal ones, right? These are the ones that we just got, right? I can craft this. It cost me 1,000 to craft it. We craft it. We sell it. Make an 8. So made quick 8,000 off that, no problem. That's what we're gonna do. And that's how I'm gonna be using all those blue shards, because I don't want to keep them. There's nothing. I don't need 3 and 4 star pieces at all. So I might as well make a little bit of silver on the side instead. Now I don't want to craft these, because these purple shards, as you can see right here, I'm going to need them to craft these pieces. And these, I think, are things that we're going to want to get, right? It's going to depend on what you want and what you need for yourself personally. But these are the types of things that we're going to want to have as much as possible, the end game pieces. Now, how good are they is going to depend on you, what you like, what you need. But you can see 5 star, not what I want. I'm going to sell it. It's fine. Make some silver, right? What else was I going to do with it? I can continue to craft those 5 and 6 star pieces, which are the ones I might actually use on my champions. Like this. This looks like it could be a nice keeper, so I'll go ahead and keep that. But the rest of it, I have no need for. So I'm going to go ahead and I can keep crafting these, sell them off, make a little bit of silver, and that's good enough. You can only save 10,000 of these Mystic Bars, or Magisteel, excuse me, that's what they are. You can only have up to 10,000. You can't store more than that, so there's no real point saving them up since you get them from every arena fight. And so I would just craft those, sell the heck out of them. Nice little easy tip. That's pretty much it, guys. So couple little tips, not a lot, but a couple little tips towards the end. And as we go through, I'll be able to talk more and more about each floor, each section of this tower as we kind of push through it. So this will kind of be maybe like a bit of almost like a daily thing where we kind of see, hey, this is what's going on with this floor, this is what's going on with that floor. These are the things you want to look at. So keep an eye out for those videos. I'll definitely be dropping them as we go along, and we can kind of go through the Doom Tower together, which is kind of exciting. So hopefully that was enjoyable for you guys. Hopefully it was informative for you guys. Make sure that, it doesn't matter if you're doing normal or hard to start, but you want to try to push hard as quick as possible, because at some point you're going to get stuck. You're not going to be able to use all your keys. That's the point where you're going to want to go back and start doing the normal missions. And that's going to be the best way to not get stuck and not waste keys, not have gold keys go to waste because you can't beat any of the floors. So that's the best way to prolong that moment. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Until next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.